He laughed loud, cruel, and unapologetic right in the middle of the courtroom. All eyes turned to Maya as the judge pointed at her, dismissing her argument as noise, questioning her intelligence in front of everyone. The room went silent. Some looked shocked, others looked away. But Maya didn't flinch. She reached for something in her folder, something that would flip the power dynamic in seconds. What happened next wasn't part of any mock trial, it was real, raw, and unforgettable. This is the story of how humiliation turned into a reckoning in open court. Welcome, story lovers. Where are you watching from? Comment your city. It was supposed to be the biggest day of her life. Maya Thompson, a 24-year-old law student, walked into the courthouse with her research notes tucked tightly under her arm, ready to defend her mock trial case. She had worked for weeks, late nights, back-to-back presentations, all leading up to this. Her professors said she had the sharpest legal mind in her class. Confident but humble, Maya believed in the system, in fairness, in the power of her voice. The courtroom buzzed with quiet murmurs, filled with students, professors, and one guest, judge, an outsider brought in to test their limits. Maya took her place, steady and focused. But from the moment he looked at her, there was something in his eyes, dismissive, smug. She couldn't put her finger on it, but something was off. She didn't know it yet. But this mock trial was about to expose something far more real than she'd prepared for. The moment Maya began her argument, the tone shifted. The guest judge, an older white man with a polished grin, barely glanced at her notes. Instead, he leaned back in his chair, arms folded, smirking. As she laid out her first point, he interrupted. You sure you understand what you're talking about? A few students chuckled. Maya paused, confused, but pressed on. It wasn't the first time she'd had to prove herself twice as much, but it didn't stop there. Each time she spoke, he cut her off, rolled his eyes, dismissed her points before she finished. When her opponent, an average performing student, spoke, the judge nodded thoughtfully, offered encouragement, even cracked jokes. Maya's confidence began to fray. Her voice wavered, but still, she didn't back down. Then came the moment that silenced the entire room. The judge leaned forward, laughed out loud, and said, "You're talking like you know the law, but all I hear is noise. Maybe stick to something easier for someone like you." No one moved. A heavy pause filled the courtroom. Maya stood frozen, her hands clenched, her breath shallow. Her professor glanced up, startled. A few classmates looked away, pretending not to notice. Maya felt the walls closing in, humiliated, cornered, but something in her refused to shrink. The heat in her chest didn't feel like shame anymore, it felt like fuel. She looked up, straight into the judge's eyes, and did something no one expected, because what came next wasn't part of the mock trial. It was very, very real. The courtroom fell into stunned silence. Maya stepped forward, her voice no longer trembling. "I know exactly what I'm talking about," she said, pulling out a printed legal document from her folder. The same statute the judge had misquoted moments earlier. Gasps echoed as she calmly read it aloud, line by line, exposing the judge's error in front of the entire room. His smirk faded. The students watched, wide-eyed. Even the professors leaned in. Maya didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Her precision cut deeper than any insult ever could. Then, without hesitation, she turned to the panel. "If this is the future of justice, then we all have something to fear." The judge's face flushed. For a moment, it seemed like time froze. And that's when everything changed. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like, it really helps. Maya didn't wait for applause. She gathered her things and walked out of that courtroom with her head high. The judge never apologized, but the university launched an inquiry the very next day. Word of what happened spread fast, sparking debates across campus about bias, privilege, and who truly gets heard in rooms of power. For Maya, the experience lit a fire she didn't know she had. She wasn't just going to be a lawyer, she was going to fight the system from the inside out. But this story isn't just about her. It's about every Black woman who's ever been silenced, doubted, or demeaned in spaces she earned the right to be in. So ask yourself, how many more Mayas will it take before justice is more than just a word? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.